Hey Leos, I can already tell this is lagging a little bit. That's why I wanted to hop in early, hoping if I come in early, give it a couple minutes, it'll like mellow out. It's because I had like scheduled it and then the app was open, and sometimes when I leave it open after I've scheduled something, it gets all weird like this. So I'm hoping it just mellows out a little bit. But I hope you guys are doing okay. Perfect timing. I left out for a late night snack and now this. Oh, perfect. Perfect. Um You guys already know. So I'm going to do a little spiel while we're waiting for people to come into the chat. And if you are watching this after I've got done live, I'm going to try to remember timestamps. No promises. I'm going to try to remember timestamps for this. So a lot of you already know, if you're not new, a lot of you already know I've been dealing with some respiratory stuff. Missed you. Hi, Dandelion. Oh my God, that's such a cute name, Dandelioness. Shailene, hi. Tamika, hi. Um, Laura, hello. Yeah, so some of you know I was doing some respiratory stuff. I'm a lot better. You can tell there's still some stuff going on there. Yeah, it almost feels weird to be recording again. I feel like I haven't recorded in a long time. I posted the weekly yesterday, but I did that like sometime last week when I was still a little bit worse than I am now. It's been an interesting ride, y'all. It's been a very interesting ride, and already it's getting dark, so you know, let me put on some light. I should have done this at a time. Hold on a second. Where is it? Where are you? Should we do mood lighting? We can see if mood lighting will oh, 33 and 11. We can see if mood lighting will translate. So this is oh, I actually really like that though. So this is regular. What if we do green? Meh. I don't know. I might go regular. Oh, blue's kind of interesting. Feel the vibes. Let's feel the vibes. Oh, I kind of like this actually. Okay, we're doing this. We're doing this one. Hold on, is it up all the way? Oh, it is up all the way. If it's too dark, let me know and I'll just go back to the regular so you guys can see a little bit better. Oh, excuse me. So again, waiting a few minutes for people to climb in here before I get started. So yeah, I've been recovering. There's a lot of shit that went down personally, but collectively that I was also in the midst of. And so for me, myself, that's almost what I wanted to say. So for myself, coming out of that, feeling much more grounded and centered. I am about to enter a whole new chapter, which is going to be very interesting, and who knows what collective shit is also coinciding with that. But for now, for today, I'm here and I can do readings. So we're going to do it. I'm just going with what I can do in the time that I have. I did already get a lot of stuff from my Leo. So, okay, that's what I was going to say. So the reason that this is a very belated birthday, sorry, Lions, is because I was in the midst of all that stuff. But here we are, even though it's September. And of course, if you follow like Vedic or sidereal, you probably consider yourself to be a Leo anyway, even if your like birthday is September. Like about 50. Yay, love it. Oh, okay, good. Yeah, so we're doing this now. I feel like there's some announcements, but I guess there's kind of not. I'm probably going to start doing sessions again. Please don't try to book right now, because I'm probably going to change them. I'm probably going to change what I actually offer session-wise. There were a couple people who snuck in, and I don't know how that keeps happening. I don't know how that keeps happening. But for those already who like snuck in, even though I set up the system to not allow that, clearly had to happen. And so you will get an email from me sometime in the next week about your session, whether I can still do it or not, or if there needs to be like a change in the appointment time or not, just because again, it wasn't supposed to happen as far as my schedule is concerned. Oh, it's already getting dark. I'm sorry guys, this is like way too dark for me. I'm gonna have to go back to regular. Hold on, I'm gonna go back to regular lighting. I know, I love it. I love the color, but it's just like not potent enough. And I want to be able to be seen. Whoa, so bright. Meh. No. No. Let's go back to what that was. Whoa, not that. Was that what it was? No, yeah, here. Yeah, okay, this works. This is fine. Actually, I'm gonna close this window. Sorry, a little ADD today. Give me a second. Just because it's getting dark, I don't want people walking by my window. Okay. Alrighty. So yeah, as far as sessions go, please wait for me to announce them because they probably are going to change in nature. And I may even offer in person. I don't know. While sleeping. But I will announce it on my website first, and then I'll announce it on Patreon, and then I'll announce it on YouTube, and then I'll announce it on social media. So just in that order of announcements, just to let you guys know. I feel like there's something else. I always feel like there's something else. I guess that's it for right now. Yeah, okay. So I did already get a lot of messages from my Lions, and so please keep in mind everything I'm about to mention. I actually had to write it all down because it was a lot. Actually, this should probably be a timestamp. Let me do another color. I guess I'll do purple. Let's do purple. These were channelings. And then we'll get into the reads. I might do 2. Maybe 3. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'm just gonna put this at 640. Okay. So the channelings that I already had, I wrote them all down. Keep in mind that the channelings that I received, they're not going to be for everybody. And it was like very distinct of like, here's a group of energy, here's a group of energy, here's a group of energy, here's a group of energy. And so you could resonate with a lot of these channelings I'm about to tell you, or you could resonate with just like 1 or 2, maybe just 1, or maybe none. It's just stuff that I picked up on for the Leo collective when I was honing in, okay? So the first thing I saw were rings. I was like, rings, okay. And at first I thought, like, is this cycles? And I heard no, bonds. So it's about bonds and devotion and commitment. And I felt very strongly about the bonds of family. That was really strong. And that could be like blood relation. That could be family you create via marriage. That could be soul fam, right? That you make with your friends, your chosen family, being very, very much highlighted for some of my Leos. But there was an interesting, like, kind of density with that. Almost like a gripping is what I was getting. Like I was being shown like rings that were like interlocking, but it was like they were tense, like they were reverberating in energy, like something about it felt almost like a chain, right? But that's what bonds are. They are chains, right? It's just a matter of perspective. And if you see that as a good thing or an unhealthy thing, right? Attachment versus being not attached. So some of you guys might be reflecting on your bonds, your commitments, your devotions. There could have been something that happened recently or can be upcoming when it comes to relationships. Again, family or like bio family or family that you make. And again, marriage could be a part of this too. Contracts could be part of this too. All of obligation and loyalty and that sort of deal about how much of those are you almost possessive about or dominating about? Again, that like devilish chain-like energy, like gripping onto certain bonds, versus just in a loving sort of connection with when it comes to people. So that was coming up pretty strongly. And if you're Leo rising, then Saturn is probably going through your 8th house. Probably, again, this is all entropic. So I mean, Saturn's teaching you a lot about letting go. A lot about letting go, and especially when it comes to like shadow aspects, because we're talking about the 8th house, and that's the house of death and rebirth and changes and also letting go. So, and if you're Leo rising, you also have Scorpio in the 4th house, and all Scorpio wants to do is hold on, right, to relationships and people and love and all of that. So big themes there for my Leo risings potentially, and that's something that again I was channeling, and then I saw the astrology kind of tying into that. You may have the Hierophant coming up a lot in readings if you're doing readings for yourself and if you're in that boat. Now another group of energy I was getting was like so opposite. It was just like super pink. There's showing me a lot of pink, and I got Kuan Yin really strong. Now I'm getting dragons with that for some of you. A lot of higher heart chakra energy coming in there, just like beaming love, compassion, empathy, gentility. This feels like an energy of 8 individual, and because when I pick up on energy, it could be you, it could be someone you know. You guys know how this goes. It's definitely this energy of somebody who's very high vibrational. Their energy is probably innately healing. Like getting around this sort of person, you probably just feel very euphoric, or you just feel the love like oozing off of them. It almost feels like someone's like walking around embodying Kuan Yin energy, your essence is how I want to say. But that was definitely one group that I was getting. Oh, the white tiger, I forgot. Whoever's resonating with this energy or is around this energy. A lot of synchronicities around flowers were coming through very strong, especially pink flowers. Orange just came, peach, orange, pink, peach, white just came through. And then I got the white tiger really strongly, but calm. They were very specific, like calm white tiger. You could be seeing white tigers in your dreams or just as a synchronicity. Not necessarily, but it's just the energy of spiritual receptivity. Though there is a white tiger card in my animal deck, so I might use that deck today, but that deck speaks of spiritual awakening, and that's more like fiery Queen of Wands. This was way more watery than fire, even though they were showing me a white tiger, and they were very specific in saying open and receptive, spiritually speaking. So I was like, okay, cool. And then I got a whole other group of energy, Mercury, and it was like really loud, Mercury. So this could be for you or someone you're dealing with. Very strong Mercury energy or mercurial energy, which means strong like Gemini or Virgo, right? Going on in their chart, but we're also subject to the energy right now anyway with Virgo. So something to keep in mind. But I got this very like King of Swords, black and white, practical, logical, direct, straight to the point kind of way of communicating. So it just seems like a very strong presence for Leos right now, whether you're embodying that, learning to embody that, or you're dealing with somebody like that. And it definitely feels like an exchange, like where there is you and one other person at the very least, could even be multiple people, where there's a lot of direct communication, could even be work related, because I got some like business kind of vibes along with that. And then as I was like getting ready to record, I heard lost treasure, and I was like, what is that? And I heard recovery. Some of you may be, I don't want to use the word struggle, but it feels a little bit like a struggle. Almost feels like you're traversing your past. Could even be in the form of soul retrieval. Precious. Something that is precious to you that you no longer have, or you feel like you haven't been tuned in with or connected with. Again, this could be soul retrieval, or this could even be like recovering a gift or a skill set, or even a hobby that you used to do, or even a relationship that you loved, or going home again, or going to a place that was precious to you and recovering it. Recovery was the key word with that. But yeah, I did hear lost treasure. So there's something about that feels innocent, or like recovering some level of innocence, for whoever's resonating with that. Yeah. So those are all the channelings that I got for my lions. Let's go ahead and get into the readings. It's interesting because, speaking of lost treasure, right, it's kind of funny. The way I just went about all my channelings, like the writing, is how I used to do my sessions. I used to use automatic writing, and then we'd like jump into the session. So that was like very interesting to land on that end note, and then be like, oh yeah, that's right, I used to do this way a lot. Duh. Anyway, so let's go ahead and get into the first reading. I'm gonna do a timestamp here. Okay. Ooh. Lions. What deck are we starting with? I'm hearing recovery. Almost seems like we're gonna start with the end note here. Are we? Okay, we're gonna start the spellcasting deck. So good to see you live. Hi, Linda. Hello. God, oh, this recovery energy definitely feels like recovering innocence, inner child stuff, bonds of family. I mean, it's interesting because now I'm feeling like the tie-in to everything that I already channeled for my lions here. To practice compassion and forgiveness of self, and even with other people that you have been very attached to or have seen as family, whether they're bio family or not, and whether they violated, thank you, like violated your inner child or not, and what the consequences of that were, even as far as like coping mechanisms you developed potentially, or how relationships developed potentially, or anger that was seeded potentially. And then I feel that Kuan Yin energy coming in for healing. Interesting. Let's get cards out here. Again, starting with the spellcasting deck. Some of you went through a recent tower that has helped to trigger this recovery of lost treasure. Doesn't feel easy. Doesn't feel easy. It doesn't feel easy. Something about it feels very humbling as well. And let's just read insights for my lions here. Yeah, really strong Kuan Yin. If you haven't like connected with Kuan Yin and everything I'm saying is resonating, or at least a part of it is, at least the Kuan Yin portion is, or the recovery portion, I recommend connecting with her, or at least being open and receptive to her or the energy that she represents, which again is unconditional love and compassion, compassion being key. Compassion being the key point there. Or if you're really big on crystals, I really recommend working with kunzite. That's a really great higher heart chakra crystal to work with. And it's easier to find than some other ones. Any messages or insights for my lions? There it is. Grieving the lost treasure. Grieving the lost treasure. That's why that card is out here. In order to recover things that have been lost, we need to have a recognition of the thing that was lost, right? And why it feels lost. I want to say it that way because it's like, are these things ever really lost, or do we just like our awareness of them shifts, or we become closed off to them? Is it that they actually vanish, or is it that our connection and awareness of them wanes because of pain, heartache, or other things, right? And so this feels like the grieving is just the recognition. It's the recognition, it's the recall, it's the, oh, that's right, that meant something to me. Or that part of me is special and means something, right? Right? Right. Sometimes we avoid the recognition because we don't want to experience the pain or the grief, but that grief is present when we have a separation from that. It doesn't have to be separate. It's just the perception that it is or has been, right? And going through that process helps you connect with it again. Anything else for my lions? Beauty, the lost treasure, the preciousness, right? The card of beauty can be very like direct as far as like beauty, but it's the things that are precious to us. I mean, literally I'm seeing it as like, as literally the treasure, the lost treasure that you want to recover. And then look, we have travel. Travel can be seen in, again, very like literal terms or metaphorical, symbolic, like going somewhere to recover a lost memory or a lost item or a lost relationship, or it could literally be like going through the realms of time and space to do a soul retrieval, right? Or going through like quantum fields to recover this part of you, or whatever you have perceived to be lost. It's not lost. I keep wanting to say that. It's not actually lost. Your connection and awareness of it waned or shifted because of some experience or some painful thing. So you becoming re-aware of it brings up this grief, this notion, this perception, this illusion that it has been lost or separate from you, and this is you connecting back with it and reclaiming it, right? Right. Pulling more cards? No. Okay. All right. So we're going to elaborate on this. Where am I gonna? I'm like surrounded by decks right now. Forgot what that felt like. Where are we going next? Where are we going next? Where are we going next? We're gonna do the Power of Elements deck. All the decks that I use are linked below if you are curious. Some of you, this reclaiming it is realigning, is almost what I want to say. And that's the thing too. It's like our whole journey and experience, it's not linear, right? It's a spiral, it's a cycle, it's an ebb and a flow. So whatever this lost treasure is for you, some of you, it's about realigning to it energetically, like coming back full circle to it. That had to be said, so I said it. Can I get a card for grieving for my lions? Keep in mind, this full moon Pisces has done a number on all of us. This full moon Pisces really has taken us into the darkness to also recall and reclaim, or to see something, or to recover something. So this is just the form it's taken for my lions, I think, is how I'm perceiving this. They did mention Saturn, which again is in Pisces, right? Which was aspecting this full moon, but anyway. Talking a lot. Expression. A water card. What's the number on here? 10. Express your truth. Oh, very pretty, actually. Look at all the water in the background. I want to go jump in it. I want to go swim in it. Says the water sign. But yeah, this is like acknowledging it, like getting all of that emotion up and out to the surface from the depths, the void, the darkness of you, your subconscious, right? And bringing it up and out so you can reconnect to it. And yeah, it might be painful, and maybe there are some conversations that need to happen in the midst of that. Interesting, I'm feeling that King of Swords energy. Some of you might need to have a conversation with a King of Swords like energy, or realize that there's something about the way a King of Swords communicates. Is it beneficial or hindering? To be honest, I want to say hindering to this, because this is so emotional. And we don't want emotion to drown us, right? It's like we don't want to be like a King of Cups in reverse or Queen of Cups in reverse situation, right? But a King of Swords really lacks that like warmth. And Leos, you need a little warmth with this kind of level of grief and recognition. So I want to say it's about recognizing how King of Swords energy, yes, it's beneficial, but not here. Not with this. Even if it's between you and you, right? It's like bring the warmth, bring the fire or the water, right? The King of Wands, the King of Cups, that's Scorpio, Leo energy. Interesting, I felt the need to mention Scorpio earlier, which is your 4th house. Bring this up and out. For some of you guys, this does relate to home and family, or what makes you feel secure, emotionally secure and comforted and taken care of. A lot of mother energy that's going along with that too. That's also very collective right now. If you're Leo rising, Scorpio is probably your, what I call the icy point, the part of your chart where you do feel the most comforted, which is about your 4th house. Again, for my Leo risings, but I can feel that energy playing a role here. Let's move on. Anything else for my Lions? Almost said Scorpios. Anything else for my Lions here pertaining to this spread? Yeah, it's like going deep into the water to like make a splash, to make a big splash, right? Oh my God. Sorry, this is still a deck I haven't seen all the cards with, and I thought this was like a special card because I couldn't see the symbol, which is really interesting. I like couldn't see it. It's another water card, and I was like, is this like a wild card? I was like, what is this? Coming here with beauty, answers will come. Remove the energy blocks in you. Wow. Remove whatever has been blocking your perception or belief about your lost treasure. It's the belief or the thought form that this treasure is lost. That's what it is. That's what it is. That whatever this is out of your reach, or not near you, or you don't have access to it, or it's not real, or it doesn't exist, or it's not meant for you, etc. Insert here, whatever it is, right? But it's definitely something that you have been connected to at some point in time, right? Coming full circle with it, you will come full circle with it, but in order to do that, needing to break down the illusions that have become walls, right? I'm gonna say it that way. Yeah, breaking down the illusions that have become walls to recovering this lost treasure. And I really want to say it's rooted in your belief system, but it's clearly tied to your emotional experience. Okay. And within that, how you allow yourself to experience emotions, but even how your emotions have been affected by certain experiences, kind of the juxtaposition of both. Oh, okay. The more you dive, the more you splash, the clearer it's going to be, right? Yeah, the clearer it's going to be. The clearer it's going to be. I almost want to say, how do I want to say this? It might sound confusing because I just got pulled to this like other analogy of like, you can see your reflection of truth in still waters, like being perfectly still, like being perfectly in meditation and being in quiet will give you the answers, and it will, but you have to actually be in the water. You have to be in it. You have to experience it. You can't just look at it from afar. You got to at least allow yourself to experience it, because that allows the energy to move, right? Emotion is just energy in motion. That's all it is, right? So it's like you can't constantly keep your emotions afar and observe them. Like that's not a bad stance to take, observant, but that's a very King of Swords, right? It's saying there are my emotions over there and I am over here. You're an emotional being, right? You have water inside of you. You are made of water. You cannot be away from water. You need to touch water because you're a human being. Sorry, it just is what it is. But it's not about drowning in it, right? It's about being in it, playing in it, splashing it, in it, cleansing with it, experiencing it, and being able to observe it. It's about both, right? Anyway, interesting messages coming through here. You can probably tell I'm just very much an open channel tonight. Can I get another card for my lions for the travel? That was very fast. Is this 2? Yeah, I can see it. There's 2. And it's like stuck. Earth and Spirit. You know, it's funny. The only card that didn't come out is Air. King of Swords, right? Which actually is Aquarius. That's your 1/7. So it's like part of your axis. But it's saying this isn't about air. This is about all the other elements, apparently. Oh, and fire is not present. I just realized. But anyway, Earth, full potential, achieve what you desire. And then the element of Spirit, embrace life. Be true to your authentic self. There is a lot to reclaim for yourself in recovering this lost treasure because, again, it's still precious to you. That never went away, right? Just because you moved away from it or distanced yourself or detached yourself or didn't look at it anymore, didn't like make the significance of it disappear. It's still very much you. It's still very much something that you are connected to, like you want to be connected to, that you have a desire and a yearning for. Your soul, thank you. Like words. Your soul still yearns for this treasure. So go get it, right? Go get it. And it will help you to feel like you can be in a deeper, more authentic place within yourself, right? But you have to go get it. I don't know what the lost treasure is. That's okay. This reading might not be for you. Remember that these are still general, and we're going to do a couple reads, but this is definitely for Leos that have a lost aspect of self, or a lost relationship, or a lost hobby, or a lost like place that brings them joy, right? And that's the thing too, like this is clearly something that has been buried in the subconscious of Leo. So they haven't even been very fully aware of it. Their soul has, but being in that King of Swords energy, right? It's like not even acknowledging it. So even if you don't know what it is, it could make itself known as time goes on. The more time you spend in your water, it'll probably become more clear if this reading is for you and if there is something there to be recovered or reclaimed, right? But everyone's different. So again, doesn't have to be your reading, but clearly this is for someone who needs this reading. Are we elaborating further or are we moving on to a new spread? New spread. Okay. New spread. I'm late and it is lost treasure for me to reclaim. That's cute. I just understood what you meant. I was like, huh? Oh, very cute. All right. So getting to the next spread, we'll just start it at 29 minutes so I can clear the board. Leo, Leo, Leo. I'm already getting zebra. I love when I get zebra for fire signs. Oh, zebra for me. Oh, wait, I've just started talking. I was like, wait, I do like a timestamp. Hold on a second. I should save that for the timestamp. Literally caught this live. Love you. Hi, Princess Leia. Michelle, LOL, I've lost a few treasures. I was wondering the same thing. Again, marinate on it. You are the masters of your own life. You do have all your own answers. I'm just here to guide you back to yourself. That's the only reason I'm here. I'm just here to like guide you back to yourself. Anyway, lions. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, zebra. I was getting zebra energy. We'll see if it comes up. I'm just going to use the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit deck. It's like long title. Zebra energy is very much in the spotlight. Zebra energy is owning all of yourself and being your freak self and letting your freak flag fly and people loving you for it, basically. It's a fun energy. It's also very artsy and creative. Like sometimes I get like Aries, Gemini, Aqua, like off of the zebra. But we'll see if it comes out. Anything from my lions? Going into second group for my lions. I'm getting a very like sacral energy for you guys. Not surprising. You guys can be kind of sacral run sometimes. I mean, you sit more in the solar, but I find most Leos have some sacral energy to them. You could be wanting to dance a lot or create a lot, or you could be feeling very sexual. You could be trying to get in touch. I mean, I feel fire, but I know water is behind that. I know water is behind that. You could be really feeling yourself. For some of my lions, I feel like there's an upcoming energy. I don't know if is this present. Some of you this is present. I feel like it's more upcoming for most of you. Am I taking these? No. Okay. Let's see. Ooh, fiery Panther. Panther is catharsis. Some of you guys, I'm getting strong Kali energy, actually. Yeah, some of you guys got that Kali, Sekhmet energy kind of going on. A little bit of some of you could be sacred rage, but I feel like it's just like, wow, like that Kali, Sekhmet, like beastly primal energy, but it feels very sexual to me. It feels like it's coming out of the sacral. But again, it's catharsis, it's release. Let's see what else is coming in with this Panther. Very feminine, very, very feminine in nature, regardless of gender. Oh, wow, there it is. It's cleansing. It is cleansing. Panther with Swan. So there is a big release that some of my lions are going through, and it is sacral oriented. It feels fire, watery oriented, and we even have the elements showing up here. The reason I say it's a clearing, because Swan coming out is usually indicates that it's an experience of moving into wholeness, moving into an experience of wholeness and cleansed and pure and aligned and all that stuff within the self, with the self. Sometimes can also represent partnership as well. So you could be clearing when it comes to relationships, but I feel a clearing in the sacral is really what I'm feeling there with you, lions. And of course, that could obviously correlate with clearing out relationship experiences as well. Oh, feminine again. Deer. Oh, I like this. Okay, I really like this. So, lions, whoever's resonating with this, first of all, we only have 3 cards and they're each different elements. We have earth, water, and fire so far. We don't have the air card yet, but deer is the feminine principle in this deck. So you can look at her as the empress if you want to. I want to find wholeness within myself, but it gets boring. LOL. Does it? I don't know if it gets, I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Because with this, I do feel, it's funny because I did Gemini before I did this, so it's already on Patreon. It'll post tomorrow on YouTube. But I did Gemini, and there was a lot of this like dancing with the twins that was coming up in Gemini, and I get a little bit of that here where it's almost like feminine and dark feminine, but not in a bad way. It's like, again, like that Sekhmet Kali energy. This is more like Isis, right? It's like, it's the polarities of the feminine. And here we have the mirrored images. So it's like, oh, excuse me. Hold on. So Leos, whoever's resonating with this, there might be something in the Gemini reading for you. Again, that'll post tomorrow on YouTube. But I like this though, because it feels like there is an alignment happening when it comes to feminine energy for whoever is experiencing this. But it's the full spectrum of it. Right? So with this, it's like, yeah, there's like some anger, there's some fire, but there's a lot of sexual energy here too. I feel like I need to do a whole video on that. I feel like I've done a couple videos in the past like few years that I've been on YouTube, but I feel like I need to do a video on this again of like sexual energy and like why it's so important and why people run away from it so much. Anyway, sorry guys, I got disconnected for a second. That the deer is like this representation of like what we normally view as feminine, but that's not all feminine energy is, right? Excuse me. It's not all what feminine energy is, and in a way we've really kind of distorted like feminine. We really have, and there is such a thing as like toxic positivity and false light and all that nonsense, right? Because the truth is we're all things, right? God, goddess is all things, light and dark. It's all things. It's all things. It's all things. And to move into this full experience of wholeness, you need to own both. You need to accept both. You need to see both. The whole spectrum, right? It's not to say, go and be a bad person. Like, that's not what we're saying, right? Because this is totally what came up in the Gemini read. Um, just like within light, there's false light, and then there's like beautiful light. You know what we normally associate as light. But even with darkness, there's distortion, but then there's positive darkness, the kind of darkness that needs to be used to dismantle things, or the kind of darkness that needs to be used to go into the darkness and into the void to pull up light. In the darkness there will be light, right? Everything starts in the dark. Everything starts in the dark. Everything, right? So anyway, there's a whole video that needs to be done there. But moving into this experience of wholeness. So yeah, this is totally an alignment and a clearing that's happening for my lions who are resonating with this. And it's starting with this panthery, fire, Sekhmet, Kali like energy. Okay. Anything else? Anything else for my lions? I feel like this reading's gonna get really interesting. Oh, on the bottom we have camel. That is not what I expected. Camel to me is like a Virgo energy. It's routine, it's repetition, it's planning, it's I know all my resources, I have them for 40 days, 40 nights in the desert, and I'm gonna get through it and I'll be fine. Like very Virgo, very survival. Ooh, black egg. Oh, this is what's clearing. Thank you. Fire ant. Oh, and look who shut up. The zebra and the white tiger from my channeling earlier. But anyway, yeah, this is actually what's clearing. This is what the panther energy is clearing. Fire ant is anger, it's tension, it's feeling, it's like 5 of Wands. It's like feeling conflict, it's feeling burden, it's feeling stress. It's like I'm trying to go here, but I'm being made to do this. It's a feeling of being forced or even overwhelmed. And then the black egg is the throat chakra. But this is such an interesting way to depict the throat chakra. They're not all eggs. They're not all eggs. But this throat chakra depiction is actually a depiction of how the throat is not being expressed, which I thought was a very interesting choice on behalf of the person who made this deck. And then we have this like camel, survival, I'm getting through, I'm getting by. It's almost like a mask of dealing. It's a mask of I'm doing what I gotta do, I'm doing what I gotta do, I'm getting through it, I'm getting through it, I'm getting through it, and trying to do it with like a straight face, like trying to be cool, calm, and collected while deep down you're like suffering, right? Suffering with something and not expressing it, not letting it out. Panther will let it out. Some of you are also working with Pele. So yeah, Pele, Sekhmet, Kali is coming up with the panther. And what wants to come out and clear, right, is all that stuff to unveil this. The zebra, the white tiger. Again, if you're just coming in, I channeled the white tiger earlier before I even got started on the reading, right? The white tiger in this deck symbolizes spiritual awakening, but the way I was getting it as a channeling for you guys was like this very calm spiritual openness and receptivity. Some of you within that group who are resonating with that, it's also about being able to handle high frequency light. I'm also getting that too, like to ground out high frequency light in a way where you can still be calm and graceful and functioning. But zebra is about owning your authentic self. This is a huge, look at, and they're both striped. I just realized they're both white with black stripes, which I love. Their third eyes are like bloop, right? This to me just feels like owning you and letting it out, but at the same time being open and receptive. There's no resistance here whatsoever. What you're clearing is resistance, but there is absolutely no resistance to showing up in the world. This is much more of a masculine energy, and also receiving in the world in this kind of feminine way. And with that like stark black white, it also is the indication of the whole divine spiritual component and awareness that you're having in relation to self and in relation to outside of self and spirit along with that, for where that applies. So very cool. Very, very cool. All right. Do we need to elaborate on this reading? Kind of feels like we don't. Honestly, kind of feels like we don't, but I kind of do want to pull some cards. I feel like it's going to be very like repetitive though. Hold on. Yeah, they're saying you can, but it's not necessary. That's literally what they're saying. So yeah, we won't. We'll do one more reading. It's only been 40 minutes. Wow. Going really fast on these readings. Probably because I took a very long break and I've been going through stuff. That's my daily practice, LOL. Camel's coming up a lot. I would expect Camel to come up a lot because it is very Virgo-y in nature, and we are like smack dab in Virgo season. But yeah, let's go ahead and do a third and final spread. Interesting. I forgot I pulled this out. That wanted to come out. Do we really need to do that? When you start getting into past life shit, it's like in like the fractals of all experiences of time and space. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like it pulls things out that can keep people kind of attached. Sometimes I have a love-hate relationship with this deck. I'm just being very honest with you guys. Got a love-hate relationship with that thing. I can decide later. Okay, well, I'm going to decide later then. All right, moving on. We're going to start with the Priestess of Light Oracle. Okay. Oh. I'm going to take this as a sign. I'm not keeping it, but this card was flipped over like this. I feel like I've never seen this card before. Maybe I have, but I feel like I've never seen it. Master number 33, which for me is a mastery of co-creation. That's how I look at the number 33, numerologically speaking. That's my own interpretation. I'm not saying that's an absolute truth. Building your world, creation, expansion, and networking. But she's in a tree. It's like she's insulated, but she has this pillar of light running through her. Thank you. Some of you guys are working with the pillar of light or could benefit from working with the pillar of light as a daily practice or exercise. I only say that to people who, how do I want to say this? Are used to working with high energy light. That's why I want to say that. You'll know who you are. And if you're wondering, don't do it. Probably not for you. I'm not going to say don't do it. I don't recommend it. If you're used to working with high energy light, please, by all means, get in the habit of practicing the pillar of light, clearing your main channel, anchoring your main channel with high frequency light every day. But if you're not used to it, I don't recommend it. It could overload you, and your vessel might not be very happy. But anyway, so coming back, so here she is, all Zen-like, connecting, communing even within a tree. But this card speaks of, yeah, this is all about co-creation. This is all about co-creation, which starts within. It starts within before you even touch the external world, right? It's like you have to get your own energy in the right alignment for whatever it is you want to co-create, right? Which means you have to even understand yourself. And I think that's also beautiful that it has the master number 33, which means you've already moved through the 11 and the 22. 11 for me is mastery of awareness, right? Aware of the bigger picture of things. Even you can even say awakening. And I view 22 as mastery of self, being in union with self, being one with self. And then once you've known that, like you should already have the tools and all the lessons and all the experience in order to know who you are, but then also have this awareness and be able to co-create with all those things, right? Those are the tools you need for that. But anyway, so big messages coming in there. I'm not going to keep it. It came out for a reason. So I spoke on it. Interesting. Twin flames at the bottom. Any messages or insights for Leos? The twin flame card is sticking around. And look, there's a tiger. Any messages or insights for my lions? Showers and snacks are the best. They are. Whoa. Okay. We have abundance coming in here. 28, a cyclical energy. I say that because 28 breaks down to a 10, which breaks down to a 1, right? Going from the end to the beginning, cyclical. Fortune, wealth, and plenty. Is this Sarasvati? I feel like I want to read this one. But anyway, this coming out, you guys know what abundance is, right? It's living or thank you, having an experience that life is plentiful, that you have more than what you could ever need as far as relationships, the feeling of love or health or money, financial security, material security, all the things, right? Like that's what abundance is. That's what abundance is. It's living a life that feels bountiful. Like you're living in the Garden of Eden, in a way. Anything else for my lions? This is what you're striving for. You're striving for this. Some of you are learning to align to it. Some of you just need to realize it's already here. You just need to actually believe that it's here. Open your eyes to the fact that it's here. Divine Mother. Ooh, another cyclical energy. 37. Nurturing, compassion, grace. Ooh, strong Mary vibes there. Strong Mary vibes there. Yeah, Leos, I feel like this reading is for lions who are going through a major shift in your life. Like this experience or this feeling that your life is suddenly blooming or your life is suddenly rich or suddenly blossoming, or it's like you can almost feel like you're going from like winter to spring. You know, it's that kind of feeling, and it's just, and life feels really damn good. Obviously, this is not for everybody, but I feel like this is for lions who have done a lot of work, who have stayed their course, I want to say. Who have stayed their course in aligning to joy, attempting to align to joy. There came shadow work with that. There came self-healing, sacrifice even. I'm getting sacrifice. Sacrifice feels heavy here. I'm getting strong Pisces energy with that all of a sudden, which I guess makes sense. Yeah. And it's almost like the rewards are here. The rewards are paying off. Bees might be very big for you as a synchronicity. Bees just came in. Any other messages or insights for my lions pertaining to this spread? It almost feels like you're being held and cradled by the universe is how that feels to me. Let's see, we got a couple other cards here. Yeah, now we have Healing Earth, the power to give and receive healing. Oh, look, 46, another cyclical energy. You can't even make this shit up. Look. All three of these cards have cyclical energy. They all break down to a 10, which means they break down to a 1. All three of them. Okay? All three of them. And they all have numbers 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. Like this, there's like a progressive energy with that. The fact that this is coming out, and I wanted to come out with Divine Mother, this is that, like, there's a lot of healing here. There's a lot of healing. There's a lot of love. And I keep feeling this, like, held, like being held. I can't get away from that feeling of being held by spirit, by, I want to say by the universe, which feels weird to say almost. Maybe some of you even feel held by Mother Earth herself, or the ultimate divine feminine, feeling held by her, feeling held by yourself even. But yeah, it's this feeling of you're being taken care of. And you know you're being taken care of. And some of you, it's because you know you're taking care of yourself in a way that's healthy, in a way that you've been needing, in a way that will bring this feeling of a rich life, of a rich experience. And it definitely feels different. I keep wanting to say that it's a different experience than what you've had. And then we have setting boundaries, threshold, protection, honor, with 30 breaking down to a 3. I feel like our understanding of boundaries need to change. How do I want to explain this? How do I want to say this? How do I want to say this? Because I feel like when we talk about boundaries, I feel like we all see a wall. And can that be a form of boundaries? Yes, but it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be. Boundaries could be just as simple as discerning, right? Discerning what you want to give energy, focus, and time to, right? So you can just have that discernment and just choose not to give it to that person, to that situation, to those thoughts, to those feelings, right? It doesn't have to be a wall, right? Because like there's something about that actually feels like it creates resistance, right? If you put up a wall, it's like, it creates this like pushback, which creates resistance, right? And resistance is something that just feeds separation, which again, if you want to keep someone or something away from you, I get it, but you don't have to be resistant to it, right? You literally just shift, right? It's literally shift, discern, shift, right? You don't have to put up a wall. You just shift, right? There's something about that that I think wants to be sat with for some of you. Overall, we have, oh, geez, cards are flying out of my hands today. Okay. Now we have Sacred Gratitude, energy of 50, breaking down to a 5, reverent appreciation and prayer. I mean, this is presence. That's what this is. This is being present. This is being in that heart space. This is being in a place of appreciation, of gratitude, of light. I mean, I don't know the way to say it. You guys already know this. You guys already know what this energy is. I feel like it'd be very easy to over explain this. But it is being in the present and being appreciative for where you're at and what is part of your experience, right? And that just feeds more of that. That feeds abundance. Gratitude and appreciation always feeds abundance. Always. Because you're in this energy of giving and receiving at the same time, which will just feed prosperity. And it'll just feed that richness of life, even if you don't have very much, right? It's not about the quantity of things, right, that you have, or especially when we're talking material plane, right? But it's about like the quality of it and how much love you show for that. And that just comes back to you, right? We have to be brave. Oh, thank you for the $10. I don't know how to say your username, but thank you. Oh my God, that's cute little flying emoji. Those emojis are so interesting because they look like little blobs. It just like, it reminds me of, what was that movie? WALL-E? The like blob people, but these are cuter. The WALL-E ones were disturbing. Anyway, so yeah, that's what I'm getting here, Lions. I don't think there's a need to elaborate on this. But yeah, that's what I really keep getting that with the setting boundaries. It's like, move away from this concept of resistance or walls with boundaries and to embrace more of this having mastery over the self and just shift your awareness and your focus, right? Discern and shift. Discern and just don't give your energy. That's it. Rodin, have you seen Barbie? I have not. I have not seen Barbie. I have not seen Barbie. Because that's the other thing too. It's like people can send you energy negatively or positively. And yes, you can be aware of that, especially if you're sensitive, but that's where the mastery comes in, right? Because it's, if you allow your awareness to feed, right? By feeding your awareness of it, that allows that energy to come in. That allows that energy to affect you, but that's the mastery of the mind. That's the mastery of the mind. That's a mastery of self. That's that 22 master number, right? Even a little bit of that of master number 33. And it's like, shift, shift away, shift away. And it's like, and then you shift yourself out of that, out of that hole, right? That trap anyway. Yeah. So yeah, interesting message for you guys. But that's all the reads today for my Lions. Is Capricorn and Scorpio compatible? Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh my God. If a Capricorn and Scorpio, they can take over the world. If it's like just the right alignment and they wanted to, they could totally take over the world. Capricorns and Scorpios, like they both have that insane focus. They're both very focused and they're both very disciplined. And once they get going, they just go. They just go. There's no stopping a Capricorn. If they want to do something or work on something, there's no stopping them. And same with a Scorpio. They want something, they're gonna freaking get it and figure out how to make it happen. Like that's just how it is. And then you have like the earthy, watery component. Yeah, they're very compatible. Yeah. What about a Leo and another Leo? I mean, here's the thing with astrology, guys. The whole chart matters. The whole chart matters. We can say like Aries, Aqua, Leo, Leo. The entire chart matters. So it's not just like one sign, right? But if you wanted to compare it that way, it's always fun too. But yeah, Leo and Leo could be 50-50. Really depends. I've seen two Leos be so alike and understand each other so well, but then I've also seen where it's like like they can't get in the flow of giving and receiving. So I've also seen that because Leos are big givers, but they're also big receivers. So if they don't have that balance, that can be kind of hard. Um, if everyone's on the same page, go to the moon, baby. Thank you so much for taking the time to do this live. Yeah, absolutely. I wanted to. I wanted to. I've wanted to. But I mean, I've also needed to honor the what I call phase of work. I needed to honor the phase of work that I was in with myself, with the collective. It's been big stuff, guys. It's been big stuff. And like I said, I might do an Island Turtle talk on it. I might actually talk about it on Patreon before I do an Island Turtle talk, just to connect with my soul fam and to, you know, also just like hang out and connect. I'm a Leo sun, Scorpio moon, Taurus rising. They are Leo sun, Pisces rising, and Taurus moon. Oh, that's interesting. That's an interesting combo. Cancer and Leo. I mean, neighbors, I feel like neighbors could decently like get along. Again, it depends on the whole chart. As a Leo rising, Cancer suns are tough for me. Well, that's because it's a malefic house for you. So malefic houses are, for me, in my opinion, are the 12th house and the 8th house when it comes to relationships. Because 12th house is literally the void space where karma is dealt with. And the 8th house is also very karmic, but it's also the house of catalytic changes and deaths and rebirths and kind of going into the shadow, which can be hard in relationships, even though it's the house of sex. So yeah, when I look at someone's chart for like romantic compatibility, even like between me and someone else, I always look to see what's going on in the 12th and 8th houses. Always. And if Uranus is there, good luck. If Venus is like in the 12th house, good luck. Like if their Venus is in your 12th house, right? Like good luck with that. If their Mars is in your 8th house, oh, good luck. It's been a lot of energy to work with these days. I'm glad you took the time to pour back into yourself. You do great work. Oh, thank you. I honestly didn't have much of a choice. I mean, we always have choices, but I don't feel like I had a choice in a lot of ways. Yeah, I can't really talk about it in full detail. I can't talk about it in full detail, at least not yet. And what I can talk about, I do kind of want to save for Patreon or an Island Turtle talk, but yeah, it's been a lot. And I'm moving into a very cool new chapter in the next few days, which is insane because it's like, I feel like I've had a lot of chapters in a very short amount of time. I mean, the last 4 or 5 years have been like different books, right? Completely different realities, but like, where am I? September? I'm trying to even just put timelines to shit. Like, yeah, the last 2 months have been like maybe 3 distinct chapters of my life already. And I'm about to move into like a massive new one, and it's like that one I'm very excited for. But yeah. Anyway, I'm rambling. I'm blah blah blahing. Thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome. But I'm gonna bounce because I do want to do some other signs tonight. What are your signs? I am a Scorp Capstellium, but I am a Cancer rising. I also got like I also got a little bit of Gemini influence because my Cancer rising is like really early degrees, and so I'm like kind of have a little bit of Gemini rising. My Mars is also Gemini. Venus Libra. I'm actually, my Venus is like Libra 29 degrees, so I'm like extremely Venusian. Almost shadowy in a way. Yeah, I'm extremely Venusian. But yeah, so those are my signs. At least the ones you know, generally speaking. I'm so glad I caught this chat. It's so fun seeing you live. It's fun. This was a nice one. This was a nice one. With YouTube, I mean, just being totally honest, YouTube, it's like very 50-50. Sometimes you don't know what you're going to get energetically, like right from the chat, just because it is YouTube. But yeah, this was very pleasant, and I had a very good time. So thank you guys for showing up and hanging out with me today. And if you're watching this after the fact, I hope you enjoyed it regardless. Great seeing you. Have a great night. Yeah, you guys too. I bet you have a lot of water. I do. I will a Scorp Stellium and Cancer rising. So yes, I do. I have a lot of water. A lot of water. I live in the water. I very much live in the water. Thanks for the messages. You're welcome. You're very welcome. All right, I'm gonna go. Again, if you guys are curious about like website and social media stuff, Patreon, all that stuff, it's all linked below. And again, I will probably be offering sessions soon, and they might be different than what's on the site. So wait for me to announce. I'm gonna announce on the site first, then Patreon, then YouTube, then the socials. Okay. Yeah. All right, guys, I'm gonna go. I love you. Take care and have a good night. And again, happy belated birthday to my Leos and happy birthday to my Virgos. I'll be doing your guys' birthday reads like when we get into October and we get close to closing out Virgo season, okay? Wait, no. Did I say October? That was weird. Later this month is what I meant to say. I don't know why I said October. Maybe it'll also be belated. Hopefully not. That was weird. Anyway. Oh, hi, Tessa. All right, guys, I'm going to bounce. Bye. Good night.